Hey, it's Dr. Cindy here. Haven't been on Instagram in a while, so I figured I would get started with a series that people I've been talking to have been asking about quick and easy ways to keep your family fed when you're going to work, coming home, need to put dinner on the table, and the kids and the rest of the family are hungry, but we want real food and we want to make it at home if we can because it's cheaper and it's better for us. So today, it's a little late in the day for me. I've only got like 3.5 hours before our dinner time. So it's going to be iffy. Slow cooker meals generally take 4 to 6 hours. I may use the Instapot for a little bit, the pressure cooker, to get the meat a little more done, but we'll see how it goes. And I'm going to throw together some beef stroganoff for everybody and let you see exactly how long it takes me to do this. Now, the key to getting dinner on the table quickly is to do a little prep ahead of time. And so I will show you the things that I have done that will speed up this process significantly as we go. Some of them not as much. Don't take much time, but just those extra couple of minutes that it takes to chop an onion. If you have your onion already chopped, it's that much easier. So here we go. First thing I'm going to do is turn on my kettle. And if I can figure out how to turn my camera around. There we go. I have gathered all of my ingredients. This requires beef stew meat. Where I live here in South Carolina, I'm lucky to be able to get meat directly from the farms. So I really love that. It's a lot leaner, less fat, and I think it tastes better. I've got some mushrooms. I've got egg noodles. Stroganoff is traditionally a German dish, so egg noodles are a big thing. I grabbed my spices, marjoram, rosemary, and thyme. I've got pre-minced garlic. You can buy garlic bulbs, and sometimes I do that and chop them myself, but we're doing this quickly. And right now I actually happen to have minced garlic. I buy this pre-made bouillon paste. This is vegetable based. Then I can use it in beef or chicken dishes, whatever I like, even vegetarian dishes. And this is the key. One of the keys to doing things quickly is I have frozen pre-diced onion. Anytime I get an onion, I cut up the whole thing, use what I need in my recipe, and then save the rest. I also keep these little bottles of wine, red and white, for when I don't have extras. When we decide to open a bottle of wine, there's usually a fair bit left over that doesn't get drunk, so I keep those in the fridge, and I'll use those first, but right now I don't have anything like that, so I'm going to use one of these small portion bottles. So this is my slow cooker Instapot. Whatever, no, it's not an Instapot, it's a different brand, but anyway, you know what I mean. Pressure cooker. I'm going to plug it in. And I'm going to put my phone down so that I can actually do things. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I set this meat out a while ago. It's still pretty frozen, so apparently I did not do it early enough to, so that this is a clue that the slow cooker is going to take the whole 6 hours to cook this. So it's sort of thawed. But I'm going to turn the camera around. I hope you don't get dizzy. And I'm going to just plop this in the slow cooker. I'm going to break it up as much as possible because that will speed up the cooking time a little bit. Oh, I forgot to check the time. So it's 39 after. So I bet you I'll be done in under 20 minutes. But we'll see. I'll time it. you'll know from the length of the video. So I'm just breaking this up. It's mostly frozen, but not completely. And if I wasn't in a hurry today, I could clean all this extra tissue off of here that nobody wants to eat, but today I don't feel like dealing with it. So I plopped that in the slow cooker. Now I'm going to grab the onions, and this says this recipe says a medium onion, so that is about a medium onion amount. It's like a cup or so, and I'm going to put the rest back in the freezer because things that have been frozen, if you thaw them, they don't do as well the next time. So, and I am grabbing the minced garlic, and I'm going to get a generous teaspoon, and this is just a spoon that we use at the table for my flatware set. And I'm going to get the pepper. And this is my old Cole & Mason pepper grinder. They sent me a new set to be one of their ambassadors, so I'll tag them, and you can look at what they have. These are really nice. I'm going to use just a little bit of salt, and I'm going to do a little, and I keep the filter things or shaker thing lids off of my spices because they get in the way when I'm dumping stuff. Well, see, that one's on there, so now I'm gonna have to pull it off. It's annoying. Because some of my measuring spoons don't fit down in there to get that out. And I'm putting probably about a teaspoon of each of these in here. And that's the rosemary. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to wash these mushrooms. And today I bought the pre-sliced so that I didn't have to, because they looked fine. Sometimes they get a little dark when they're pre-sliced at the store, and these are starting to get that way, but they're not too bad right now. And I like to use the spray thing, and I'm just gonna, mushrooms tend to have dirt on them. They grow in the dirt, so I don't like to eat that. I turned on my electric kettle, so now I have boiling water to make my broth. And sometimes I trim these ends off of the mushrooms, which you can do. I don't really feel like doing it today. And they look pretty clean and fairly fresh. So I'm gonna just leave it. I'm gonna let those drip a bit so they don't drip all the way across the floor. And we will mix up the broth. Brought my kettle over here. Let me get my phone stand. Hope I'm not making everybody seasick. Moving that around. And then I have this big jar of, I'll show you what it looks like. It's like broth paste called bouillon. And you need about a tablespoon, since this spoon is a teaspoon, so you need 3 of those to make a tablespoon. So that's pretty close. And a couple cups of water. And I just like to use the boiling water so then it dissolves and mixes in a little quicker. In the cooking process, it'll mix in just fine, but it's kind of nice to have it pre-dissolved so you don't end up with a clump of it. All right, so got that all mixed up, and this is 4 cups of broth that is going to go in my pressure cooker, slow cooker, machine. And see, it didn't all mix up, but it'll be fine in there. And now, this phone stand over here. It will be, I'm going to put the wine in. And in stroganoff, I like to use red wine, beef stroganoff. If I'm making the chicken version, then I use white wine, obviously. It just adds a little depth to your broth, extra flavor. Then I'm going to dump these mushrooms in. Get all those out of there. And find a spoon or a stirring thing. You can put the mushrooms in later. Today, apparently, I'm putting them in earlier. You can use canned mushrooms. You could use dried mushrooms. But when I've tried that before, you got to make sure that they are completely reconstituted. You still got to soak the dried mushrooms before you can use them in here because they don't get enough liquid, and then they were tough, which it was not very pleasant process. So there we go. We have it. That took me 6 minutes, it looks like, to put everything in there. Now I'm going to put the lid on it. And because the meat is frozen, I'm going to run it through the pressure cooker one cycle for 15 minutes. And then I'll put it on slow cook for the next 3 hours. And we'll have dinner. While it's on the slow cooker, the last 30 minutes or so, I will dump these noodles in. And let me turn the camera around. That might be better. There. You can see I'll put these noodles in the last 30 minutes, or I could put them on the stove in some boiling water and boil them for a few minutes before we eat. But that's an extra pain, so I'll just dump them in the pot with the rest of it. And that's all. The recipe's already posted on my website. Sorry about the dog. And I will attach a link in the comments. And if you want more recipes and want me to send you weekly new recipes, sign up for my email list on the website, drsindysrecipes.com. Everything's also on YouTube. Have a great day.